30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, yo? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish. I'm joined with DJ, and we're only 12 games for this season, but we're going to be talking about Coach Silas, and a large portion of the Rockets fan base is pretty disappointed with him and even calling for him to be fired. And one, I don't think he's going to get fired anytime soon this season. The relationship Stone has with him, and Stone seems to have a lot of faith in Coach Silas. So one, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And yes, there are some things that must be addressed, and we'll get right into that. And so the first thing is lineups wise, a lot of people are kind of mad at how Coach Silas tends to play the veterans over the rookies or the young players more. Like, for example, playing Eric Gordon over Jalen Green in the final minutes and still losing anyways. Like, to me, it's one thing to play the vets and win, but it's like another thing and way worse to play the vets and still lose. To me, it'd be worth for us to play the young guys and lose, and at least they get that experience. And the vets, they're not going to be here in 1 to 2 years time anyway. So that's my thoughts on that. But what do you think about like that whole situation, like playing the vets over the young guys?
Yeah, so basically I'm not the biggest fan of like playing the vets, but I also realize that there is definitely a reason that you have to. And I feel like with Coach Silas, he doesn't really look at like these players and like discriminates them like solely like based on age, but rather like as holistically and like that is like through the skill set that they bring. Because honestly, more than like vets and young guys, like separating like that, he wants to just find the best lineup in which all five players are able to complement each other and have the most efficient offense, because that's all he's like really like wants. He just wants an efficient offense. And it doesn't help that our team is full of not the best vets and also like a lot of young guys. So even though we are like creating like a lot of like good looks, we're not exactly hitting them at like a good pace. So not everything can really be blamed on him, but there are definitely a lot of things that I feel like Coach Silas kind of does deserve some like some backlash for. And that, yeah, definitely with his rotations. um but like also you can really see like it's not that he's doing the same thing every single night, but rather he's still like changing and like experimenting with different lineups. I know it's been like 12 games by now, but he's still doing it. And he's still trying to find those lineups, those five-man lineups that, are best for defense, are best for pushing the pace, are best for, bringing energy, are best for shooting, are best for playmaking, for creating for others, are best for drawing fouls. Like he's finding these different lineups. And I think the best one, in my opinion, is definitely the KPJ, Jalen Green, Jay Tate, KJ Martin, and Christian Wood lineup, because I like Christian Wood at the 5. Like, I feel like that is his natural position, and he's just such a mismatch. And, KJ Martin just seems to complement every single team, which is why I really want him to get more minutes, especially over Daniel House. David Nwaba, he brings a certain like pace and like energy to the game, which is great, but he and Daniel House do not deserve to be getting like a crazy amount of minutes more than KJ. But Silas is still experimenting. He's still trying to, play his vets, play his young guys, and like find out who complements and who plays well off each other. Slowly and surely, though, he's definitely going to find those Ryan lineups. And I think for now, we just need to be a little bit more patient, because it's really been a small sample size. It's only been 12 games. And that, too, the Rockets do have one of the hardest schedules to start off the year. So we've literally been playing so many like playoff caliber and contending teams. So, for now, let's just give him a little time. Let's not be too quick to judge on him. But yeah, he still has a lot of kinks to work out.
Yeah, and I feel like Silas, I think he's good enough to be our coach for sure. Like he seems to be very like smart about the whole game of basketball, and so many and players obviously love to play for him, like Christian Wood. Just like from the beginning when he signed here, he's like, I came here just because of Coach Silas. So like he has that pool, but like in terms of like lineups and everything, Silas says that when he has a full group, he'll have a good rotation, but when he doesn't, he has to adjust. And he says it's impossible to do that when you have a new injury every night. And some people are saying, well, every coach has to deal with injuries, and why it's that's not a problem specific to you. But I think Silas being kind of a new like head coach, he's still kind of getting used to everything and all. But we'll see how that goes. And as far as playing the vets more than the young guys, like I feel like that's mainly just like showcasing them to other teams, and hopefully like by the trade deadline, most of them, if not most of them, are gone, I guess. Because if they're still here and we're still playing them over the young guys, that's a whole nother story that it's definitely going to be a bigger issue for sure. And so yeah, so that's like one of the main like complaints is like rotation wise, but like as far as like controllables, like what Silas can control, the Rockets, uh, the Silas can't control the number of free throws missed by our team this season, and the Rockets are leading the league in missed free throws. 93 missed free throws, the second most. 81 missed free throws by the Hornets, and then the third one is the Knicks with 69. So that's a huge discrepancy in how many free throws we're missing. And Coach Silas says that's mainly a mental thing, and it is like that whole game situation. Like it's definitely different from how it is in practice. But what do you think about like certain things like free throws wise, like and like maybe timeouts, like Silas's game decisions within the game?
Yeah, the missed free throw shootings, like, they really piss me off, I'm not gonna lie, and it's not even that, like, we're wasting, like, so many, but because the Rockets get to their free throw line the most in the league, or, like, in that, like, top caliber of teams because we are, like, the fastest team pace-wise. So it's not like we're having a problem getting to the lines, it's just a matter of converting when we get to them, because so many of our games have been, within 5, 8, like 10 points. And in those games, we've missed 10, 12, 13 free throws. And it's really like if you were to hit like two-thirds of those, it would be a one possession game. The games could have swung in our favor if we had more momentum. And instead of being 1-11 like we are currently, we could very easily be 4-8 or like yeah like 3-7. The point is we could have had a better leg record, morale could have been higher, and that's just better. You really need good morale for a rebuilding team because you don't want them to lose faith in what we're trying to accomplish here. But yeah, the free throw shootings, that's definitely something he really can't control. I guess when he makes these rotations, typically everyone does have a niche and like has a specific role, but he also really can't exactly control what exactly happens on the court because all these players are making split decisions. Although one thing I am like when he's playing guys like Jalen Green and Eric Gordon has the tendency to create for himself a lot of the times, rather than being more off ball, rather than like having other creating for others as well, which he's good at what he does. And Eric Gordon has definitely been like the second most consistent player on our team, I believe, after like Jay Sean Tate, who's having an amazing season. And shout out to him. But yeah, Eric Gordon, just give him the ball. He goes, does bully ball into the paint. So like everyone's doing their own thing. But one thing that I feel like Silas really is like improving on, though, is the fact that he's staggering the minutes with KPJ and Jalen Green. I've only noticed it recently in the past like 2 games, but I'm noticing a lot more of having KPJ and Jalen Green start off in games and then having Jalen Green go to the bench, run with more of the bench unit, work on, more ball handling and playmaking, which he's an underrated playmaker. I feel like that's definitely an aspect of his game where if he improves on, he could really opens up his bag for himself and for others and makes him a much bigger threat defensively. Sorry, offensively for the defense. So yeah, he is staggering the minutes, and then Jalen's running with a second unit a lot. KPJ is running with the starters, and then they're meeting back up and finishing and closing out games. Very similarly to the Harden era with Chris Paul and James Harden, how Chris Paul would run with the bench unit, Harden would run with the starters, and they would close out games together. I feel like this is very good for the team. Definitely, it really gives Jalen Green a lot more reps to work with. Um, but speaking of reps as well, I don't like the fact that he's not giving minutes to much minutes to Josh Christopher, Usman Garuba, and Armani Brooks. We all know what these guys can do. Garuba being a defensive paint beast specialist, Armani Brooks being a sniper, and Josh Christopher just being an energy guy. I don't understand why, if they're not playing them these minutes, if Silas does want to play these vets, to raise their trade value, they could be traded at the deadline. That's great, but send Garuba down to the G League so they can get reps, because I'm tired of seeing them get like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or DNPs, coaches' decisions, whenever I look at the box score, because they let them get reps. If at least in the G League they could get like a lot of minutes, they could get a lot of reps, they can learn the offensive playbook, whatever the Rockets are running out here. It is kind of annoying, but I don't really know, man. I'm not a coach. Silas probably knows what he's doing, but if I was him, I would definitely look to give more minutes to these guys, whether it be with the Rockets or with the Vipers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, in some cases, it seems like these younger guys are like playing a bit better than the older vets, and that's just something to like think about, I guess. But lastly, I just want to like briefly touch on like some people are blaming like how KPJ's play, I guess just like somewhat poor play at the beginning of the season on Coach Silas for some reason. And they're like, isn't he supposed to be some guru, like point guard guru with like Luka Doncic and Steph Curry? But like KPJ, obviously, you guys had to know that he's adjusting to this new role, being a point guard. And his first 8 games, he had 38 assists, 37 turnovers. So not that good, but the last 5 games he's had 24 assists, 14 turnovers. So that shows a lot of improvement from KBJ, and he's only going to get better. And you have to realize he's like super young too. And so they're just like I got this, the whole main theme of this video is just patience, I guess. I mean, we're in a rebuilding phase, I think. I think you mentioned earlier, like we've kind of been spoiled by the Rockets being one of the most winningest franchises in the NBA. But now, like when we're in this rebuild phase, it's kind of hard for some Rockets fans to kind of deal with it. So we definitely have to be patient, and we'll see how it goes from there. I trust Stone to guide us in the right direction. I think Silas is still our guy. We just need to. It's okay to criticize, but I think overall, just need to give him some more time, see what happens later down in the season. 20+ games from now, we'll see, and we'll touch back on this subject. But that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know what your thoughts are on Coach Silas, and as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.